chickens. Good morning. Chickens are about to get moved out of this garden space. There's not much else for them here, and I think I'm gonna move them over so we can get everything out of here, mulch it, maybe tarp it, and let it rest before we plant for the spring. We got a very soaking rain this morning, as you can see. I'm talking, it was intensely hard raining. Y'all got any eggs for me? I left my egg basket down at the house, but I grabbed this garden harvest basket out of the greenhouse. I doubt there are enough eggs to warrant a basket this big, but that's okay. We'll be optimistic. Hello, birds. Yep. Only 2. They're pretty, but just 2. This is a Moran's egg, that pretty dark brown. We've had a couple of these girls just start laying here recently. Of course, these are spring chicks, so they're all just starting to lay. And then, of course, we've had a few green egg layers. We have some blue egg layers in this flock, but they're starting to slow down a little bit, and it's probably just because the days are getting shorter. However, this area where they are in this old garden, I mean, we just got this really heavy rain, and the whole farm is a little sloshy right now. But I've noticed that the ground does stay a little more wet in here now in the winter. And I've been told, and I've found this to be true in my own experience, that when chickens are in a place where their feet are staying wet, that they actually will lay less. I don't know the science behind that, but I know that I was told that once when we were in Arkansas. A viewer told me that. And I was like, I don't know. But then we started moving our birds out of the area that had been muddy and moving them around in a mobile coop, and they almost instantly started laying. And since then, I've noticed that times where they're in a muddy place that's holding water, their laying goes down. So I don't know, kind of something to keep in mind. They also just scientifically lay less whenever there are less daylight hours, so it could be just that. But I'm thinking it's about time to move them out of here anyway, because they're not doing anything else in here as far as like cleaning it out. There's nothing left to clean out, and I'd like to be able to get in here and maybe take the cattle panels down, cut out the dead plants, and get this ready so that it's ready when spring rolls around. Let's detour here by this garden. Y'all look at this. This is all chamomile coming up. This was just direct sown, kind of thick. You can sort of see where the water displaced the little seeds. They sort of ended up kind of off to the sides, and this pot was in here and they sort of pulled up next to it, but that'll be fine. It'll come in. I may actually move some of these out just to thin them, because I mean, they could grow this thick, but they could also be thinned. I love chamomile. You know how scents and flavors can get like intrinsically woven with feelings and memories and stuff? Chamomile is one of those things that I kind of created a sense of calm around, and of course it's very calming. Like, it's, you know, something that is commonly used in herbalism to calm, so it already does that. But I created kind of a habit with myself that for a long time, at the end of the day, I would unplug, which I would just like turn off screens or social media and just sort of unplug, which helps me a lot to not feel wound up or anxious. And we would, you know, get the kids in bed, and I would make a cup of chamomile tea with honey in it, and sit down, and that was like downtime. And so I kind of like wired myself to know that when I smelled that smell, it was like this like sigh of relief of like, you're done needing to be on, you're done needing to be needed. And it's funny because now I can smell chamomile in the middle of the day whenever obviously I'm not done being on and not done being needed, but it still triggers that feeling because it has been part of that routine for so long. And I've actually gotten out of drinking in the evenings. I need to get back into it. But I haven't had any growing here. I mean, I've bought it plenty of times. I can just buy some dried chamomile. But I've got some on the other side of the greenhouse. I've got some here. Did a video a long time ago about harvesting and drying chamomile. I'll dig that up and find it for you guys. But yeah, something that is kind of special. I love growing teas. Got some lovely collards and kales here. It's actually looking like I could heavily harvest these now. I've got plenty here. I've been sort of very sparing with it, but I have to come out and start working kale into the meal plan again. Turn the power off so I don't get a shocking surprise when I step over this fence. Hello, birds. I didn't get a shot of it, but one of these birds was sunbathing. They always look dead. Always frightens me. Oh, well, these have done better for me. That's much better to see. And I left my basket outside of the yard, of course. I was in the middle of cooking Thanksgiving lunch. Several of Maya's family members came in. I've hosted Thanksgiving to some capacity every year since I was 23. So what does that make this? Maybe I was 22 actually. I think this was my 15th Thanksgiving to host. Oh, these are pretty. Look at that little spotted guy. And I'm in the middle of cooking and I ran out of eggs because I had told everybody else in the family who was like making dishes for Thanksgiving, hey, come get eggs. And of course they did, but I wasn't accounting for the fact that our chickens have really slowed down. So I'm in the middle of cooking and I'm like, oh crud, like I'm out of eggs. This never happens. And it was funny, Maya's like, it's okay, I haven't gathered them today. So he came out to the farm just in the middle of the morning, you know, it was like mid-morning, and gathered up another dozen eggs out of the coops and brought them back in. And I was good. I finished cooking Thanksgiving. And I got so tickled by it, you know. It's easy, truly, I wish it wasn't, but it's easy when this is your regular life and it's outside your window every single day to, I guess, get used to it. I mean, I don't feel less grateful for it. I feel incredibly thankful, but it is regular, like it's routine, and it's extraordinary still, but also ordinary. And I don't exactly know how to describe that. For a long time I felt like a sense of shame, maybe maybe I was ungrateful because I wasn't still so wowed and like just completely moved by everything. You know, I'm such a romantic. I'm still moved by a lot, but I don't know, I felt like, oh, am I misusing this? Am I not appreciating it enough? And then I finally realized some years ago that there's like a real beauty to when you have something and you so fully use it that it becomes comfortable to you. And I gave myself some slack, and I just lived in the grace of being comfortable in farm life. But occasionally, like when I run out of eggs cooking Thanksgiving and Maya just goes out to the farm and it provides another dozen just in the moment that I need it. And he brings in this little basket full of beautiful colored eggshells. I had one of those moments where I was like, oh, it's good. My basket is way too big, so I'm gonna have to carry it at an angle so these don't roll around and bump each other. It's so windy that dead tree out there just snapped and fell over. And I feel rain. It looks like we're not done getting a storm going. But thankfully the chores are done. And I've got breakfast, so I guess it's back into the house for me. Alright, it's a little bit later in the day. Ben, what are you doing?
Putting up the chest.
You're putting up the chest? Mm-hmm. Benjamin has been on a real chess kick lately, huh?
Yes.
Oh, look at this. Our Thanksgiving puzzle.
Still not done.
Still not done. I think we're slacking sourds.
What, on the puzzle?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I just honestly haven't felt like it.
We have a holiday tradition that when we're going to be gathered at our house with family, we'll put a puzzle on the table. So we do this, you know, Thanksgiving, Christmas. I mean, honestly, if we just had a weekend that we had family in, we'll do puzzles. We like puzzles. We do puzzles when we don't have family in. But last year, we got through the Thanksgiving puzzle real quick. It was 500 pieces. So this year, we decided to get a much harder puzzle. And it's pretty tough. What do you think, Ezra?
Almost everyone left and we still haven't found it.
Everybody worked on it. But it's a little bit tougher.
Everybody's left. Maybe next time we don't get such a hard puzzle.
I think me and Dad are gonna have to step it up, huh?
Oh, we gotta finish it. You can't give up.
It's insane.
It's insane. I frankly have just not yet entered back into the real world and the real schedule and the real routine from the holiday weekend, because I did my big cook-a-thon on Thursday, and then of course we had a lot of family in, so we spent a lot of time at Noah's house. We went out to eat. It was just a very different routine than what we usually have. And now it's Sunday, and I still have to gather up all the roaster ovens and figure out what to do with the rest of the leftovers. I think I'm going to try to freeze some stuff, and I'm thinking I might make some chicken pot pies and put them in the freezer, or turkey pot pies, because we still have some turkey left over. But yeah, getting back into the swing of things. And the fact that it just is stormy this morning, it looks like it's clearing up now. It's getting sunny. That definitely threw me off my grip. I don't know. We'll get back to regular life soon, but not today. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. And my prayer for you today is that your dreams come true in such a thorough way that they become comfortable. God bless you. Until next time.